The Justin Baldoni case is not merely a litmus test of the legal system. It is a giant neon sign from the legal system saying that men do not have any legal rights. Now, what happened? For you guys who don't know, Justin Baldoni, falsely accused by Blake Lively. She slandered him. He's suing her for slander. He has all the evidence in the world. The judge dismissed the case. Meanwhile, uh, Justin Baldoni, he still has to defend himself from Blake Lively's case. So you can see men have no rights. Now, I was following Kirsty Flaw here, and I want to show you something. She has this one saying Justin Baldoni's case dismissed, and she's shocked. Then in the next one, she says in her thumbnail, nope, she will never win. Kirsty, how can she never win when she's already won? Good question, isn't it? Now, we'll get into this.
About my good and bad experiences working in Hollywood as a reporter. And as you know, a lot about Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively's legal feud. Yesterday was such a shock. I haven't really been able to process it so far. I feel like
By the way, everyone, I wasn't shocked. This did not surprise me whatsoever.
this was just such a gut punch to everyone who was really hoping to see some justice for Justin Baldoni. And what we've seen now is the complete opposite. I've been watching some other creators.
Yes, it's the complete opposite. I agree. And the thing is, the only reason why you're supporting the right side is because you break it down to individuals, right? This is Justin Baldoni versus Blake Lively. You cannot and will not support it if you recognize it for what it is. Sexism. Baldoni is a man, Lively is a woman, and that's why she's getting away with it. In the end, you have to see it through the lens of individuals, Flaw, because you will end up supporting the villain if you don't.
I've been listening to you guys. You sent me a lot of tips, a lot of your feelings. And I think right now, everyone's just sitting here like, what do we do now? What does this really mean? And to me,
It's a silly question. What it means is that men have no rights. And what do we do now? Well, you guys don't do anything. Men suffer. The only thing to do now is men would have to actually get over themselves, start an actual MRM, and get fighting for their rights.
personally, I think it brought back some of the trauma that I was going through when I was suing the Golden Globes. I
He's going to try and make this about her. Blah. You are the individual. You aren't a victim of sexism. You weren't being, when you were suing them, you weren't being discarded because you're female. So I'm going to bypass that. Okay.
don't feel this is fair at all, as I'm sure most of you watching my channel agree with me on. But I do feel that just in
No, no, we don't. Sorry, guys, I got to back that up. She said something about feeling unfair, right?
I do feel that even though the justice system is not fair always, I don't feel this is fair at all. As
No, no. You might not feel that it's fair. I know this is unjust. I know it is unjust. As Machiavelli once said, people will put up with unfairness. They won't put up with injustice. Of course, he was wrong about us guys. People do put up with injustice towards men. Okay.
I'm sure most of you watching my channel agree with me on, but I do feel that Justin Baldoni will prevail in the end. Not
How would he prevail at the end? The case has been thrown out.
with this judge, maybe not in this courtroom, or maybe not in relevance to this at all. But I do think that Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds will pay in the end. And what I think is going to happen now, my personal opinion, I think Blake Lively is probably going to withdraw her lawsuit and say that.
Do you hear that, guys? She might withdraw her lawsuit. So her lawsuit wasn't dismissed, even though Baldoni is one with all the evidence.
Now she's spoken for all victims out there, and this was such an important win to show the world that victims can come out and stand up for their rights and whatever. And
No, 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 not whatever. This shows you that women can attack men with impunity. That's what victim stands for. Victim stands for woman, right? And the justice means that they get to slander men with impunity or do any other illegal activity because it's no longer illegal. I don't think it has been illegal for a long time. And if men had any brain power, they would be very, very concerned over this.
that's why her case isn't that important anymore. And then
How is it not important? This sets a precedence. It tells us guys that if a woman can slander us and try and destroy our career, and we can do nothing about it. It's irrelevant to you, Flaw, because you being female are immune.
Justin Baldoni will never get the chance to prove he was innocent in court, which I think would be terrible. Some people are saying that they might settle. I don't see Justin Baldoni settling this now at all. And I think Brian Friedman has said clearly so many times that he's not interested in settling. But I do think that Blake Lively might just withdraw her entire lawsuit because she knows she has zero evidence. Zero. We've seen it. She has zero evidence.
Yes, she has zero evidence, but her case wasn't dismissed, was it?
And still, the judge wanted her lawsuit to move forward. That
Well, there you go. That's all we need to know from Flaw. Thank you, Flaw. So, how can you possibly say that she will never win when she has won? This is a 100% win on her case. She was not going to get punished. Now, I'm going to bring this to Colonel Kurtz because she has the same kind of idea, right? These women believe in karma in the court of public opinion.
It's obviously terrible news for Justin Baldoni and Wayfarer, and a big win for Blake Lively, as I expected. And I've been trying to subtly and not so subtly prepare y'all for this for a while.
Colonel Kurtz has been dealing with this long enough. She saw it coming. But she'll never admit this is about sexism. She'll never admit this is a gendered issue.
It is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a defamation plaintiff to win a case these days, particularly in California. So the judge,
I don't know about that because the judge is allowing Blake Lively's to go through, right? I think she could win if she wanted to keep pushing. Right? If she had any evidence, that is.
judge has tossed out most of Baldoni's claims, and I know some people were saying that it's not a big deal, that Wayfarer and Baldoni can just refile. No, they cannot. From the vast majority of the claims, the judge specifically said that they cannot be amended and refiled.
There you go. The judge, who is a complete sexist, denied the rights of a person because they are male. And he made sure, he said, you're not coming back on this. I am bearing this. There's really no system, right? There's no court laws. It's just whatever the people in power want.
So, yes, there are a couple of claims that are still left on the table, but I have to be honest with you all, judging by the way things have gone so far and by what I've seen in other defamation cases, I would not hold out much hope that those claims are going to make it to the end. I have been saying for a long time that the war is not at a future date in the courtroom. The war is now, and the war is for public opinion.
Really, public opinion. It might work on an individual basis. Like people tend to like Baldoni and dislike Blake. But it doesn't work for us men. The average man is spit on by other men and women. So there's no court of public opinion come to our rescue.
In the end, it is kind of irrelevant what the judge decides or what happens in our justice system when.
Holy shit. You can't be further from right. Of course, this is as relevant as things get. That judge just came out with a giant neon sign saying men do not have any rights. Men are not going to get any justice. I don't see how much more relevant things can get for men. Kurtz can say this because her being a woman, she's safe from this. That's why she says this. She knows instinctively she is not a part of this injustice. She is not going to suffer it.
And what really matters is the court of public opinion. And it's the court of public opinion that's going to determine the fate of Blake Lively's career and reputation, and Ryan Reynolds' career and reputation, and of course the New York Times reputation.
And this is bullshit. You know why? I'm going to show you guys. Rachel Zegler, she burnt her bridges at Disney, right? Public opinion was against her because she just showed so much contempt for Snow White. What happened to her? They snatched her right up as a lead singer in Evita. Her career didn't die off at all. The only reason, by the way, she was kicked out of that is because she was such a jackwad. She couldn't control herself that she ruined it there. But she had to throw her own career away. It wasn't destroyed by public opinion. Female privilege is an unending well. The depths of it is unending. So you are just outright wrong about this, Kurtz.
What a joke, right? And in the court of public opinion, the verdict, frankly, has already come down, and it is not going to change. Brian Friedman is no idiot. He is a master of the legal system. He has been based out of California for a while.
Who cares? He doesn't have any power. The judge, it doesn't matter if he does everything right. The judge is a sexist, right? So he's just going to throw out. He just told us to our faces, men have no rights. They have no legal right to justice in the court system.
He knew as well or better than I did what this was going to come down to. He knew that this lawsuit was a long shot. But you know what Brian Friedman understands and what I've understood?
Enough of this. I'm going to say this at the end. Mr. Pink and Yellow, thank you for mentioning this. I was talking to him about this, and he said, Colonel Kurtz, if she was like mugged in front of a camera and the court system just threw it out and ignored it, she wouldn't dust herself off and say, oh, well, at least he'll get karma. At least this mugger will be fried at the court of public opinion. No, she would be naturally outraged and say, how dare they do this to me? She would demand justice. And again, this is all instinctual, guys, because these women know this is sexism. They know they're never going to be affected by it. They're not going to be on the receiving end of it. So, of course, they say it doesn't matter. None of this matters. Good will come out at the end. Well, men better wake the hell up. There it is staring in your face. Let's not pretend anymore. No more cope.